Right now, you're wearing something. A t-shirt, a hoodie, a jacket, or maybe even pajamas. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself why humans wear clothes at all? Most of us choose our outfit in just a few seconds. We check the weather, grab something comfortable, and head out the door without giving it a second thought. It feels completely normal. Every person you see is wearing clothes. Every culture, every country, every generation has done the same. But here's the strange part. Humans haven't always worn clothes. For thousands of years, our ancestors lived very differently from us. So what changed? Why did humans suddenly decide to cover their bodies? The answer is much more surprising than most people realize. Most people believe clothing was invented simply to stay warm. It sounds logical, but history tells a very different story. Modern humans have existed for nearly 300,000 years, yet clothing appeared much later, leaving scientists with one important mystery to solve. Our earliest ancestors lived under the hot African sun, where heavy clothing wasn't necessary for survival. So warmth couldn't have been the original reason. Yes, nights could be cold, but humans survived for thousands of years without wearing full outfits. Something else was happening. Archaeologists discovered bone needles, hide scrapers, and other tools used to make clothing. These discoveries changed the way we understand human history. If warmth wasn't the first reason, what was? Scientists began looking for other clues hidden deep in our evolutionary past. Protection seems like another obvious answer. But if clothing was only for protection, humans would have covered their hands and feet before anything else. Instead, early clothing often covered the torso and waist first. That unusual choice suggested there was another reason beyond simple survival. Then researchers found one of the strangest clues imaginable: lice. Tiny parasites ended up revealing one of humanity's biggest secrets. Body lice can only survive inside clothing. Genetic studies suggest they evolved around 170,000 years ago, proving humans had already begun wearing clothes regularly. But even this incredible discovery only tells us when humans wore clothes. It still doesn't answer the biggest question. Why did we start wearing them? The answer may have nothing to do with fabric. Instead, it may have everything to do with the human brain and how it evolved. Imagine an early human looking at an animal hide and picturing themselves wearing it in the future. That simple idea required an extraordinary ability called planning. Unlike most animals, humans don't just react to the present. We imagine tomorrow, prepare for the future, and create things long before we need them. Making clothing meant gathering materials, preparing hides, shaping them, and finishing a garment that wouldn't be useful until later. That's advanced thinking. Psychologists call this ability mental time travel, the power to imagine future versions of ourselves before they even exist. Every piece of early clothing became proof that the human mind had changed. We weren't just surviving anymore, we were planning ahead. But another remarkable change was happening at the same time. Humans began noticing something no other animal truly understands. They became aware of being watched. For the first time, humans could imagine how they looked through someone else's eyes. That changed everything. Appearance suddenly mattered, because people started thinking about what others might believe or feel when they looked at them. Across the world, even cultures living in warm climates decorated their bodies with feathers, beads, shells, and colorful paint instead of heavy clothing. These decorations weren't needed for survival. They were messages that told others something about the person wearing them. Your body became more than a body. It became a canvas that displayed identity, achievements, and belonging. As human tribes grew larger, strangers met each other more often. They needed a fast way to recognize friends, leaders, and outsiders. Clothing became one of humanity's very first social languages, a silent way of saying who you are before speaking a single word. As human societies became larger, clothing evolved into something far more powerful than simple protection. It became a silent form of communication. Before anyone spoke a single word, their clothing revealed who they were, where they came from, and which group they belonged to. A feather could symbolize leadership. A unique pattern could identify a tribe. Clothing quickly became one of humanity's first visual languages. People no longer dressed only for survival. They dressed to express status, identity, achievements, and social roles within their communities. Even today, your brain reads these signals almost instantly. Without realizing it, you judge clothing before hearing a person's voice. A police uniform immediately signals authority. A doctor's white coat creates trust. A firefighter's gear represents courage and protection. A graduation gown tells you someone has achieved an important milestone. Clothing continues telling stories before words are ever spoken. Although thousands of years have passed, your brain still follows the same ancient instincts developed by your earliest ancestors. Think about the last time you stood in front of your closet before an important event. You probably spent more time choosing than you expected. You weren't simply choosing clothes. You were choosing confidence, professionalism, comfort, or creativity, depending on where you were going. Every outfit creates a different first impression. Whether we notice it or not, clothing helps shape how others see us. That's why wearing the wrong outfit can feel surprisingly uncomfortable. Being overdressed or underdressed instantly creates social anxiety. Those emotions aren't modern inventions. They're ancient survival instincts that helped humans fit into their communities for thousands of years. Every morning when you get dressed, your brain quietly performs the same social calculations your ancestors once made around ancient campfires. Without saying a single word, your clothing introduces you to the world. It's a tradition that has connected humans across generations for nearly 170,000 years. Over thousands of years, clothing continued to evolve. Animal hides became woven fabrics. Simple garments became uniforms, and survival slowly transformed into self-expression. Today, every outfit sends a message. Whether it's a business suit, a sports jersey, or your favorite hoodie, each choice tells the world something about you. When you get dressed each morning, you're doing much more than covering your body. You're creating the version of yourself you want others to see. That simple daily decision is guided by instincts that have existed for nearly 170,000 years, connecting you to your earliest ancestors. From prehistoric hunters to modern cities, clothing has always reflected the human mind more than the human body. Fashion changes, trends come and go, but the psychology behind clothing has remained remarkably similar throughout human history. Every generation creates new styles, yet every style serves the same purpose: to communicate identity without saying a single word. Clothing helps us belong, stand out, earn trust, express confidence, and connect with people around us. Perhaps the greatest invention wasn't clothing itself. It was the human ability to imagine how others see us. That moment of self-awareness changed our species forever. It transformed simple survival into social identity. The first person to wrap an animal hide around their body probably wasn't just trying to stay warm. They were choosing how they wanted to be seen. And that ancient decision still echoes through every closet, every fashion trend, and every outfit we wear today. The next time you stand in front of your wardrobe, remember that you're continuing one of the oldest traditions in human history. You're not simply picking clothes. You're telling the world a story about yourself before you ever speak. So maybe humans didn't begin wearing clothes because they were cold. Maybe they started because they became truly aware of themselves, aware of others, and aware that every choice shapes how the world sees them.